Hello everybody, Salvation here. Today I'm going to bring you a Recon guy on Battlefield 3. The game was amazing, so I decided to pick this as a gameplay for Recon. I've been running Recon for quite a while, so right now in the moment I really do horrible at Recon, but I'm going to explain to what the purpose of Recon is, and some people I might have problems with Recon. Recon kits are one of the hardest kits to understand and how to use them properly. So this is what my personal opinion and philosophy of the Recon kit. Starting out first is the weapons. Recons tend to use any sniper rifle, semi or bolt action. I'll run the bolt action. For my opinion, bolt action is like one of those one-shot kills. I prefer those over the semi, but I do tend to use semi depending on the situation. So Recon tend to choose in larger maps or larger but a compact situation, such as this map. This is one of my favorite maps to run a Recon. See how the map is really large in distance, but it's compact into all these corridors and hallways. So I tend to use this. And to be a team player as a Recons are really infamous for being not a team player. All they do is rack up points, but I don't believe in that. As a person, I run as an aggressive Recon, and I don't usually sit back. The only time I would sit back is the actions gets too hardcore. So that's the only time I sit back as a Recon. But what I'm trying to do is get as close to objective as possible to leave a mobile spawn for my teammates. Maybe because the Recon is really notorious for leaving mobile spawns because they don't get into the action that much close quarterback. So you want to stick back a little bit, but don't be too far or you're just escaping the action. You want to be in the action at the same time, but don't want to be too close to the action where you'll automatically die, which is something Recon want to avoid. The purpose of Recon is to spot. That's their main purpose, so I tend to spot every time. Every time I see a guy, I would spot them. They give out good coordinates, so if you're on the chat with them giving out good coordinates to where possibly with the enemy would spawn. For instance, right here, if I were talking to my friend, I would say that there's a bunch of guys heading toward this way. There's a sniper right there, and that is one thing about Recon. Sniper against sniper is a really intense situation. You want to take out all the snipers. Recons tend to give more support than what support does, meaning that 9 in 10 of suppression, but they can help you defend or at least push up. Some people don't realize that every time you play as a attacking team, Recons do help you push up because they take out all the MGs, they take out all the snipers for you, and they take out all the medics on the opposing, so prevent them from reviving and keeping up the pressure. So Recons do help. Now, for my instance right here, I'm trying to push my teammate up here, so I took out this sniper, try to take out all the MGs first, so that's my first priority. And I want to try to spot everybody in the back. So spotting does help. Now, saying mobile spawn, I would try to get as close as possible into like a cover. So right here, I'm looking around. Now, I've seen these people like spawning right behind that truck. So what I'm trying to do is try to flank, and flank is the greatest thing about Recon skills. Recons are built for flanking. That's my personal opinion. They're built for more flanking. So you want to take the least possible path that's not obvious. So think of something that's out of the ordinary, something where that normally people wouldn't look at. So right here, I'm just moving cover to cover, and taking cover is really something I can't stress enough. You want to take cover all times, no matter what kit you are. Take cover all times, you'll be okay. So right here, I'm trying to set a radio beacon, and use your radio beacon. They really do help. They help you leave a backup spawn. So if you die, you can spawn where you're at, and if your teammates die, they can spawn there too. So it helps a lot. It takes like half the deaths away and takes less time to get across the entire map. You spend less time crossing the map from getting killed by MG, so put lots of spawn beacons. See how all my teams are spawning on me, so it's a great idea to use spawn beacon. Now in this game, I don't use the motion sensors because I should have used the motion sensor, but at that time, I did not have a clue what motion sensors do. I know the idea of it because I got from the idea from Black Ops, but I did not know how it worked. But how motion sensor worked is, from what I heard, that once you set it down, it's gonna make an audio noise or beeping noise, or the enemy will pop up on the mini-map. But the only time the enemy will pop up is depending on the movement. If the enemy is just crouching or proning or just walking really slow, then they won't pop up on the mini-map. But if they're walking really fast, sprinting, or any sorts of that, they will pop up on the mini-map. So you want to try to avoid that from any motion sensors. So put motion sensors around large areas. You want to avoid any actions from a close distance. Whenever I get near a close action distance, I would pull out my pistol right here, and I would try to attempt to go for objectives. When you feel it's clear, the objective is really clear, go for it. Really, if you plan an objective, it just puts lots of tensions into the other team, and they'll stress down. They will try to run for the objective. That's basically it. Every instinct a person would do is just run toward the objective. You're a really true team player. So if you plan an objective right away, it will help a lot because the teammates are already there. If the teammates are there, take that 1 second moment to plan an objective. It's really vital to plan an objective. See right here, I'm trying to take all the flank routes as possible. Think of all sorts of ways. The Battlefield is really huge as a map, so you get so many ways of variation to taking different routes. So I would stick to the edges, in my opinion. Sticking to the edge is probably one of the best things, especially in a urban type map. Having urban type maps are really special for recons because they're all over. They have windows, they have different alleyways, corridors, anywhere to be flankable. So anything that seems flankable, then go for it. Automatically choose a spot that you think feels more like less obvious. But you can, as a recon, you can go to obvious spots just to put the team off. Now, do not ever, I can't stress this enough, but ever stick to one spot too long. Do not ever do that. If you stick to one spot too long, meaning that like sticking to a building, you would cause, first, number one, you're gonna cause attention to people you're killing at. They're gonna come after you, and number two, you're not providing good mobile spawn. So every minute, try to move up an inch by inch. Now, every time it's set a beacon, when you set a beacon, try to set a spot that's been covered up by an object so nobody sees it. The only possible way you can spot a beacon is if you hear it, but less likely people can hear because there's so much action, so many bullets flying around you, so you wouldn't hear an explosion. So try to set a spot that's far away. I recommend you set it into like alleyways that people wouldn't find a corner with, like a corner you usually camp at, but normally people don't camp because the maps are huge and not much action when you camp. So set it there around alleyways like I usually do. If you watch this video right now, you see how many places I put. Like this is a good spot right here. Right here, I would put a spawn beacon. Now, you can put it on the ground, or a good idea is to put it on buildings, because buildings provide good cover for putting a spawn point. Never put a spawn beacon next to objective. Play too close to the objective, it's gonna get too obvious, but it sometimes works. You can try it, unless you feel really sure about putting it right next to the objective, because the team doesn't see it, the opposing team doesn't. So, always set it right a couple meters away from the objectives. It's a great idea. Now, I noticed that the beacons got bigger from the, what's called the beta, so they got a little bit bigger, so you want some space and somewhere to cover it. Bushes are good in different maps, but in this situation, it's an urban type situation, so I'm trying to avoid anywhere that's obvious. Now, following your teammates can be good or bad. If you follow your teammates, it give you great backup cover, but as for me, I'm trying to avoid them because they're the ones who are not. Since they're not recons, I don't want to go and group with them because they're all over the place. So whenever you have a recon squad, never ever have a full recon squad. That is one thing that's stupid. Right here, I didn't see that guy. I don't know what he was doing, but he was AFK, I'm assuming. So you don't want an entire squad to be recon. If you want to be a recon on a map, but your squad's already recon, come on, don't be a recon because they're a recon already. Unless you can tell them, unless your friends tell your friends if you're playing with friends and they're all recon, tell them then someone's gotta switch to assault, someone's gonna switch to support, because you need every class. Now, none of the classes are more better than another. They're all balanced. They all have their own purposes, and recon has its own purposes. It's a spot, it's to give support, and that is what I believe in my own opinion about recon. So right here, I'm trying to rack up as much kills as I can. I'm trying to take the routes that nobody would notice. So when I take out these guys, I would put the team. See, as my teammate, you can see the mini-map. You can see the tension that each time I kill somebody, my teammates get more and more up to the next objective. So that's your main purpose of the job of recon. Try to avoid any attention or cause any problem. Now, if you see a vehicle, it's a great idea to come behind it and ask your teammate saying that you see a vehicle. Communicate with your teammate is really vital. I think the biggest communication kit is the recon because they always talk. No matter what, they always talk if you play with friends. When you're a recon, if you're a really true team player, take advantage of your kits, then recons is the way to go. And you don't have to be a good sniper, like I said. I'm not an awesome sniper. I'm running SV98 and I have to take my shots. Always, when you kill someone with a sniper rifle, you want to take your shots. You want to take time on your shots and never ever stress out taking so many shots and missing. Missing is the worst case scenario. If you miss too much, then it's not gonna help you at all. So take time on your shots and never miss your shot. Every shot counts. Every shell you put on the enemy counts, because once you miss that first shot, especially when you have a SV98 or any bullet action, they spot you straight forward and you die. And right here, I'm trying to put another spawn beacon. You can count how many times I use the spawn beacon, but I tend to use a long time. It's pretty awesome. Now, I recommend you don't run the flashlight unless you want to put a flashlight on a sniper rifle. Now, some people put a flashlight to get attention, but I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put a flashlight on my pistol, and would awesomely put a bipod or a laser sight, the laser pointer. Laser pointers do help. They will most likely help you when you blind an enemy. So if someone spots you, you point the laser at their faces, they're gonna be all blind suppressed. Not necessarily suppressed, but they're gonna feel suppressed, and that will help you from giving it a chance to pull that trigger and get that guy straight forward off the bat. So I'm pretty sure that's pretty much it. All I can say is that you don't have to be good. Now, Recons don't always run a sniper. They can run personal defense weapon, anything, source of that. And I think that's pretty much it. All my tips I can think of. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and later, guys.